All right, Brandon here.
Jasmine.
And we are reviewing X-Men First Class.
That we got to see a preview screening of.
Yes, it comes out this weekend. And, okay, first off, I'd like to apologize. I was given some crap for this on YouTube with the Angel mix-up for Pixie. I spaced it, I messed up, I'll admit when I'm wrong. It is Angel from the Grant Morrison run. In my defense, of all the things I love about Grant Morrison's writing, Angel and Beak were probably my least two favorite things. So, sorry about that little mix-up. But, back to the movie, what did you think?
I don't know, we sat there as the credits rolled and I just did not know how to feel. It wasn't bad and it wasn't like amazing. It was entertaining, but I feel like they had a lot of little quips for fanboys, and once you watch it, like, we won't spoil anything for you. Yeah. But there was lots of little moments where we were like, ha ha ha, you know, and we like loved it. But there are so many gaps in continuity, and you have no idea where they're pulling from, and I feel like they made too much of a separate.
That was my thing, was the gaps in continuity. And I know I nitpick with that stuff, but I'm very big on continuity. I like when everything flows together and makes sense.
That's your right as a fanboy.
And I will give you, there are a couple cool cameos in that movie that are worth seeing those.
The
which
surprise
I thought
is awesome.
Yeah, thought that was cool. Also, they told us to wait till after the credits, but I guess our cut didn't have whatever was supposed to be after the credits. So, you know, wait around, see that, let us know if there was something or not. Yeah, my biggest thing is the continuity. I thought it was much better than 3.
Oh, totally.
But I just don't feel like there's much more we could do. I mean, there were 2 characters in the movie that didn't even have lines.
They didn't say anything.
There was not a word. One of them wasn't even called by a name.
We didn't even know who he was. We had to watch the credits.
Riptide, and apparently,
Azazel.
yeah, who was Nightcrawler's father. But it was just, neither of them spoke a word the entire movie.
The entire movie. They were just henchmen.
They were. But I just don't know. I'm in the same boat. It wasn't incredible. It wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. I'll give you guys that. Yeah. I thought it was going to be a piece of garbage, and it wasn't. It was entertaining, but the continuity thing was a big deal for me. And this might be a spoiler for some of you. I don't think that it is. I don't see it as a spoiler because I think everyone saw the movie ending this way. So if you don't want to be spoiled, jump ahead like 30 seconds. But I called a long time ago on Nerdlocker that at the end of this movie, Professor X would be in a wheelchair, and he is. Now, in X-Men Wolverine's Origins, which is blatantly in continuity to these X-Men movies, at the end, he walks up as Professor Xavier to a young Emma Frost with all these other mutants saying, I'm Charles Xavier, come to my school, or come with me, you know what I mean? And he's walking, and the X-Men are already established with the school at this point, where Emma Frost is a villain in this movie, and he's in a friggin' wheelchair at the end. Like, come on. It drove me nuts.
Since you're talking about Emma Frost, everyone knows one of my biggest issues in terms of continuity was the fact that she already had like the diamond ability. And my second biggest issue with the movie, other than continuity and stuff like that, is the fact that it looked so bad to me. When
she was in diamond form?
Yeah.
It looked really awkward. It was
not good at all.
Because even in Origins, she was a little cleaner. And her clothes didn't turn. Like, it was just her.
Yeah.
This one, everything was...
She's like naked orb,
diamond
boobs. It looks weird. And at one point, Magneto is like grinding like metal into her, and like it's actually like breaking off the diamond, but you're diamond plates, so you shouldn't be. Nothing breaks diamonds.
Yeah. Now, on a positive note, Magneto was amazing.
Badass.
He was such a cool. Gosh. The way they presented that whole story, the way they had everything. Which almost makes me wish they just did a Magneto movie.
They really should. At this point, they should just do, like, the sequel should just be a Magneto movie. Because
well, I mean,
all the characters who didn't get lines in this one could just show back up in that one anyway.
Yeah. Well, like, there was a couple scenes in there where they were really good scenes, and it's him just being a badass.
Yeah.
And him, like, not really a villain. I mean, he's an anti-hero.
Yeah.
And it was done very well. It was portrayed very well. And I wish I would have seen a lot more of that. Also, I thought Professor Xavier was an awesome...
I read an article, and it was a Matthew Vaughn interview for Empire Magazine, where he's talking about how Magneto in this movie is just so awesome, but Professor X has his moments, too, that really show off, like, his abilities, even as a young
and he
Xavier.
Did. And I kind of liked young sort of carefree Xavier at the beginning. Like
With hair.
Yeah, with hair. There's also a lot of hair jokes in that movie.
Yeah.
Like one time it was funny, but the third I'm like, I get it, he's not bald.
Ha ha ha.
Okay, cool. Overall, I'm not gonna say this movie's a waste of time.
No.
But I'm
glad we got
more.
to see it for free.
I'm glad we got to see it before because that was very neat. It was thank you very much for the invite. But I just I like I said before, I feel like I'm a lost cause on these X-Men films.
I will say this, is that a lot of people are saying it got great reviews and that it's one of the best comic movies of all time. There's absolutely no way it's
That's the best
anywhere
comic movie of all
near
time.
one of the best comic book movies of all time.
I'm sorry, comic movies. Dark Knight.
You're always going to have to strive to that bar. And
Dark Knight.
the only thing that X-Men First Class was better than was X-Men 3: The Last Stand.
And it was
And like a couple
a
Fantastic
lot
Four
better.
movies.
And the Fantastic Four movies.
Which is
but-
not saying much, period.
But, you know, the bad and the good. I want to give this movie 3 nerd skulls.
We are on the same page, my friend.
Are we? Perfect. If you saw it, disagreed or agreed, leave some comments right below us here.
Let us know.
Yeah, let us know what you thought of the movie.
Huge thanks to our friend Josh Bell at LasVegasWeekly.com for getting us into this movie, and hopefully we can go to see more screenings.
Absolutely. And be sure to check out our audio podcast with Josh Bell on Josh Bell Hates Everything on the Las Vegas Weekly website.